What's up, my fellow nerds? Welcome back, Loki, Season 2, Episode 5, spoiler review. If you like the stuff you're seeing here, give it a thumbs up. Sleepy does a dance any week now. That's why he's on second shift. He's working out. Certain you know who is happy that he's on second shift working out, getting ready. So let's begin. Sleepy, what'd you think?
Me personally, I give this episode a 10. Like, the suspense, emotions you get from it, the fact that this is all one big ass time loop, and it's fucking crazy just thinking about it. Loki creates the fucking TVA, Loki destroys the fucking TVA. Like, he is the start and stop of He Who Remains. It's just overall 10. I'm looking online. Everyone is saying that this is Infinity War level. Like, they get the exact same feeling they got from Infinity War, just like, what the fuck is happening? And then boom, you get that sudden rush of emotion when he fucking finally learns to control it. It's cool as shit. I like the fact that Mobius fucking had a jet ski store, which explains why he was so obsessed with jet skis throughout the whole fucking series. He's got his own family. The reason why Hunter B-15 cared so much about the other timelines when they're being proved is because she was a doctor in the main universe during the same year that we had the Battle of New York fucking in 2012, I think it was, in New York. Um, and then it just ends with how the last episode began, or how the episode began, right back where it's gonna fucking go wrong. It's just I can't not love what I've seen. The fuck that Casey escaped from Alcatraz, like, no wonder why he was a variant. Dude was supposed to die in the water. Like, it's cold. I could pass it though, but I just really love the episode.
Gecko?
I thought it was a good episode. I don't think it was a 10 though, but I thought it was a good episode. It's just to me feel like it's just looping around to eventually and give this characters, since I think they exposed the whole this ain't your real name, like the little hints. And then like I said, I did love the little backstory to the characters. I did like them. I'm not gonna lie. It's just it really, I wanted action. And it's like not, it's just getting the crew back together and it's cool and whatnot, but with only one episode left, this last episode to me had to be like boom, where I lose my shit. Now I'm not saying that the episode sucked. No, I give it like a strong 9. It was a really entertainment episode. I liked how Obi, since you didn't mention it, Obi knew what he was talking about. To me, that was cool because I think he was a science fiction writer or a fiction. I
Yep.
don't know. And he
Yep.
was buying his own book too. That's another thing. And he's like, "Oh, this book. Oh yeah, I read all his book." And she's like, "Oh, stop trying to sell your books." So that was cool. I liked how Sylvie still knew who he was. Like, "Oh yeah, I know who you are. Come on, what the hell?" But it does, what I do like about it is that it's showing how everything is like crumbling and whatnot. And like you said, the ending where it starts, it ends where the last episode, where it started to go fucked up. So I want to see where that goes, because if the theories was that, the theories that you guys blew my mind last week were that that's how you get Victor Timely's aura to become, then probably that's where the battle happens. I can see where Renslayer and Miss Medic come back there and they start having a war before that happened, because I'm actually kind of pretty strong on that theory. You guys said that that's how his essence goes around the whole multiverse and the timelines and whatnot. So to me that would be cool. But to be honest, I like that next week is really unpredictable. I really don't know what is gonna happen. This is just throwing stuff out there and saying that what would be cool for me to see or cool for the story to go. Now I really don't know where this is going. But other than that, I think it was a good episode. And I liked it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, the backgrounds and whatnot, but I wanted a little bit more action. But hey, hopefully next episode got sip. Besides that, Tony.
I'll give it a 7. It was mostly set up for the finale. This was strictly a setup episode. This is what I expected. The fact that Loki can now control time, I didn't like that at all. I thought that was rather stupid. I think that's too easy of a cop out to do this show. Remember, Ouroboros is a Caltech professor, not a science fiction author. His goal is to be a science fiction author, but in that episode, he's actually a Caltech professor, and that all of the timelines are branched timelines. None of them, as you see them, they all say branched, and they all take place at different points in the timeline, and that's where I guess Loki got them from. The question is, how did Loki know where to go get them at? I still think this is all set up by Kang and not set up by Loki. But I think this episode was just meant to set up the finale next week. So yeah, there was nothing really special that happened. I wasn't as excited as Sleepy, but I didn't expect to be excited that way. I expected this to be the setup to the finale because everybody's talking about the rumors that the finale is going to blow our mind. So I knew to lower my expectations for this one to bring us that lull right before we get to the actual big episode. The question is, can they top episode 4? Episode 4 is when they should have ended the season to me, and then make us wait a whole year or 2 to get there. Because from the looks of it, the actor strike ain't gonna be settled anytime soon. So there'll be nothing else coming out. So I would have rather them just stop episode 4. That's the end of the season, and really make us wait. Now they have to really top episode 4. And with Marvel's track record of their TV shows, I'm not convinced they can do it. So I have no faith, but I'm willing to come in with an open mind. Anybody else?
No,
Sleepy, I saw you had a bunch of notes. So
I agree with you, Tony. It was set up, and like I said, it wasn't a bad episode to me. What do you think, Sleep? Because to me, I liked the episode.
I agree. It was a setup episode, but it answered a lot of the questions that we've had for a long time over the Loki series. Why was Mobius so obsessed with the jet ski? Why did B-15 care so much about other people and other variants? I don't know if you guys caught it in the end credits scene. It was there was a voice that said, "You lose. Please insert coin to try again," and it was very subtle. And then you see that Zaniac arcade machine is also in Sylvie's timeline in the McDonald's, and it's the same voice line.
No, that's a video arcade thing. As someone who is much older than the two of you, back in the day, whenever you had a hit movie, it would become an arcade game. Nowadays, that would be a PS5 or an Xbox game. That's how popular that movie was, that it needed a video game. That's all.
Okay, so that makes sense. Thank you. Because that was like, I'm like, is this entire thing just a game? Like, no. I was going to go a whole theory about that, but thank you for stopping me before I made myself look like a fool, bro. Appreciate that.
No, I'm not really criticizing the episode. It's just Marvel has a history of shitting the bed on their TV shows. They've never been able to deliver that great ending. Also, they stopped them from using, once again, any MCU characters in this show, which goes to show that, once again, what's the point of having a show if you can't have the movie characters cross over into this? Which will be a different topic for a later topic, is why Marvel is pretty much on the downslide. And I think we're seeing the death of the MCU. But that's for another topic. But back to this show. They've got to deliver on this ending. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be action-packed, because I've got to have Kang or Timely or somebody come back, or actually Kang from Kang Enterprises come back and lead this, because if this is just another whimpering Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk episode, it'll pretty much be the death of the MCU. I know Miss Marvel's going to kill it next week, but this episode has to deliver. Otherwise, let's just say another TV show that came out this week is showing that they can do the multiverse better. I won't mention who that show is because it's a different comic book company, but they've shown that they can do the multiverse better.
Question, aren't they tied together, though? like in
No,
the comic books at all? I
no,
thought there was
No.
no. That's a
No.
special. That's just a special issue. Happens all the time.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I saw that one of a breakdown videos. I was like, oh, that's
yeah,
cool. Like,
yeah. And shout out to Sleepy for actually doing some homework. It ain't like the other things we've talked about off camera that you haven't seen. So good thing you're doing some homework.
just so like people know, they deserve to know this. I've never once watched Planet of the Apes.
You know what?
And
Let's not
never
talk
once.
about this shit,
No, 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 no,
bro.
no.
We're
This
not
is
gonna talk
Loki.
about this shit.
This
This
is
is
Loki.
Loki, bro.
Focus.
I'm
Focus.
really
Not
pissed
focused.
about that
No,
one.
But
focus.
the people need
No
to know.
focus.
Yeah. Focus. Focus.
Let's get back to Loki.
So what are your predictions then for Loki, Sleepy?
Dude.
Since you have a ton of notes.
Exactly,
ton of
No,
Sleepy.
it goes by recording session. I pretty much said everything in my notes, but my expectations for next episode is Loki seeing the He Who Remains variant created, and Loki and all the other people that he recruited create the TVA alongside Kang, or not Kang, yeah, fuck, He Who Remains, so they can defeat the other variants of Kang, and then it starts there. Because none of them remember how they got there. So He Who Remains turned on Loki at some point. It's just, it's all up in here and it's weird. I still got to unravel that part. But
Gecko.
like, if you think about it, Loki doesn't remember it, but Loki created and ended both the TVA on a technicality. So him telling all the people, yeah, you can go back anytime. They never went back because they don't remember it. So someone had to turn on someone coming up just to get to that point.
But they explained that in the episode that when they gone, it's like they never left. Because if you see it happen again, Loki was talking to Mobius, so it's like they said that it's like if they never left. So there's that. But that's a good theory. But I don't know. He who remains really to be part of the that'll be something weird. I see. I wasn't expecting that. I want to see like probably like Kang already, like the main Kang, be like, you know what? Let's get this shit going. I don't know. It's hard because right now I feel like with how things are going, it's really unpredictable. But to me, I want a nice battle. It can't be like Tony said, and I'm gonna get it there. It can't be like Moon Knight or She-Hulk or Secret Invasion where the ending is just fall flat. No, if you wasted an episode backtracking, setting up story, the backstory, and doing shit like that, I expect you that next week you're gonna give us some nice action and something that is gonna blow us our mind. Now, what it is, I don't know. I want Marvel to surprise me, but I do agree with Tony. I think a lot hangs in the balance for this show. Like, if this does not hit a home run where the majority of us nerds are like praising this, I honestly don't see where, we're, and like Tony said, we're gonna talk about eventually about this in another topic, but I could see where Marvel's like, you know what, no more TV shows if this does not get the ratings they want, or the excitement from fans. I could see where this really is something they really need. So my point is, surprise me, Marvel. Give me something that I'm not expecting, but that when I see it next Thursday, I'm like, holy shit. And especially like Tony said, after the Marvels, come on, surprise me, Loki. Other than that, Tony, what do you expect?
I wish they had done what was canceled. They were going to do Loki season 2 as the multiverse war, and they decided to cancel that. I would have loved to have seen that. And I don't want them to, because now I guess they're talking about Robert Downey Jr. I don't want that now. I want you to stick with what you've done. Like Gecko says, I want a battle. I want to see Kang return and actually kill Victor Timely, or He Who Remains return and kill somebody and actually take over the TVA. I want to see that. I want to see what happens, because there's still a scene of a Renslayer being in the void. I want to see what's in that void. Is that part of the show? Is that the post-credit scene that sets up Deadpool 3? Is that part of what rumored set up the Marvels? I want to see that. The question is, can they actually complete it? Star Wars was good up until Boba Fett and Mandalorian season 3 on nailing their show's perfect ending. Marvel, like I said, outside of Loki season 1, has never done a good TV show ending. They've all sucked. So I don't have the confidence that they can do it. They had a perfect ending, I'll say it again, with episode 4, and they decided to do 2 more episodes. So I got to see how they nail it. I did not need to know the actual origins of the TVA. I did not need to know how Morbius got there, how Casey was the Frank guy from the real life people that actually escaped from San Quentin, stuff like that. That was something I didn't need to know. I wanted to see more Sylvie basically going in there and being a badass and killing all these TV agents that she's been doing throughout the timelines in the years. Instead, she's at a record store. Come on. Like, that's why I give it a 7. And like I said, they got a lot to deliver because I've heard the Marvels is going to suck. So next Thursday is going to be real important for them going forward. They need to set up something. And if you want to, we can just end it there because I want to go more deep dive on the Marvel topic that we can all talk about, and we can just leave this one here. So, Gecko, what's your score again?
Like a 9. Not a strong 9. It could. I only rewatched it one, but it's a 9 so far. I'll rewatch it probably. Like I said, I did like the backstory, but it's not a 10. I liked the backstory. I liked how it shows, but like you said, sometimes it opens a lot. Like the branches, I didn't. That was weird. That was weird because I seen that about the branches, so that means that these people were not supposed to assist, regardless. So the backstories were nice, but like I said, I want action, and they need to blow me away next week. You sleepy?
I'm still at a solid 10. I thoroughly enjoyed everything finally connecting from episode 1 to now back to season 1 to now. Like, everything is just one gigantic fucking loop that Loki creates just to stop the fucking stop the one timeline and then to go back to the one timeline. It's just all like, it's a mountain. I like it.
I'll give it still a solid 7. It's a good episode, but to me, it's set up to next week. That's why I give it such a low score. If next week doesn't deliver, I'll give it even a lower score overall when we do like the overall wrap up for the season. But they got to stick the landing. This has to be a 10, 13, 14, 15. They've got to go out with a bang. And they can't use the post-credit scene to take it there. They got to really go there because we already know what the post-credit scene is, basically. So that's nothing special, but they got to get us there first. So if you like the comment that you're seeing here, give it a thumbs up. 2,000 subscribers, we'll give away a PS5. Super Bowl predictions, people will dance the night away to the Macarena.
Nope.
Deuces, nerds.